Another interesting feature in this software is export PDF, export 3D PDF. You can export anything in this software to the PDF except some special animation like mesh animation in your file. As you can see, this is a simulation model in the software. If I go into the sequence, I add an animation, a multi-action to this object. It means if I click it, display in this way, or if you click, you can back to its position. And I export the animation in simulation, this object, going to the simulation, and here I export the animation of this simulation. As you can see, this is a simulation. I export it to the animation sequence. Here is in a sequence all Annie. Okay. You have to remember the name because with this name you can export in PDF settings. And we have scene state, the most important thing in a PDF, that you can customize your object with a click. So the multi-action will be exported, the animation will be exported, these annotation will be exported, and of course the scene state can be exported. As you can see, we have a material scene state. You can capture anything that you want. You can capture any scene state that you learned. Position, camera, material, hide and show, position, light, everything that you want, you can export in a PDF. So the way is this: if your project is ready, you store your animation in a sequence, store your position and status in a scene state. Going to 3D PDF, don't export immediately. Go to the settings, any tools. If you export two animations, you can merge them. For example, merge. If you have two PDF, you can add them and then generate one merge PDF. Going to the PDF, first click settings, and here are settings. I explained it. Here we have a template. Okay, we have parody template. As you can see, this is my template number 1. We have a lots of template here that you can choose, and your model will go there. Okay, but I want to add my template. As you can see, we have a template here like a mobile. You can create them very easy. Here you can add a music background on your PDF. If you want to repeat it, assign it to the PDF here. Preview image is like a thumbnail. If you I explained it in a PDF. You can, the first picture that appear in a PDF. Here you can set your password, and here you can attach a file. It's very interesting. I attach a simple file. For example, I attach an PNG. You can attach everything that you want, and you see where is that. Okay, this is a PDF. I want to explain some PDF here. Okay, as you can see, we have some PDF here that I want to explain something. It is an interesting thing, important thing that I forget. You can export baked object. If you double click, as you can see, this is an baked object. You can click and drag. This is an Adobe PDF. You can download it freely, and you can create all of these graphic, and this is a baked object in the PDF. You can click and drag. You can right click to zoom out. You can middle mouse or left and left click and right click, press them together and drag. You can pan, and that's very nice. Another PDF is, for example, this office chair. Okay, important thing happen here. If your 3D model does not appear because the software tell you we have unknown things, to click on your option, and this is for Adobe Acrobat. trust this document always. Okay, trust it. And for play on 3D, click on your 3D. Click here, and now you can see all of these graphic, or you can very easily use it. As you can see, you can add these clicks. When you click, these are scene state. You can design your graphic in Photoshop, add it here. I explained it how. And you can add your scene state. As you can see, it changes scene state. You can add anything. If you click on these buttons, the scene state that you store in your SimLab Composer will be active. And here you can add an animation. Interesting. Okay, these are sequence. These are sequence. If you click on this, a sequence will be play. And these are scene state again. You can set it to the front. You can set it to the up. Okay, you capture a scene state to the front, to the up, the position camera, or you can change the scene state as a color. Okay, it's interesting. And we have important toolbar here. This is a toolbar. I don't know why it's it's not important. This is a toolbar. Here, if you click this is an attached file that you attached. You can see your app attached file here, and we have a navigation here. You can rotate it in any direction that you want, or if you want to spin, z-axis is locked and you can rotate it correctly. In some cases it's very nice. You can change it, and you can change all of these settings from the beginning. If you want to pan, if you want to zoom, if you want to walk to projects, if you want to fly. Here you can change the camera properties. Here you can change the camera properties. The most interesting thing is this is the field of view, and you can change the camera roll. That's not important. Other things. You can measure, explain it. You can add a comment or hide the toolbar. If you click home, you can go home, and if you select here, you can see your scene state if you want. Here you can see the tree camera here. I give you an example, and here you can choose between the orthographic or perspective and which mode do you want to see. It's a lock here. I don't know why. Yes, this toolbar is active. I don't know why two toolbars. I will explain them, but because you have to get familiar to these settings, and after that I explain them more. Here you can change, for example, this box. This is, as you can see, this is an orthographic and parallel, and you can see you can change the appearance of the objects you're here. You can choose them. The solid is best, and you can change the lighting, no light, or any changing of light here. For example, CAD optimized light, you can change it. And here the navigation, it's change the scene states. Okay, it's change the scene states, all of the scene states, but we don't want to use them. And here is a 3D model. As you can see, we have an object here in a scene browser like this. It's like this. Okay, it's show this. Okay, I will explain them more. So this is a 3D PDF. It's very interesting, and you can close it. So you learned is first you have to click trust this document and click on your 3D area. So for the beginning, I want to explain the create a new template. In 3D, here you can specify that model tree will be appear on your exported PDF. It means this. Or of course the 3D toolbar, do you want to show it? Do you want to PDF automatically full screen? You can enable the selection. If you go into 3D, you can select your object, maybe like, or highlight, Actionable object, it means this: if you add a multi-action to the object, if you export it to the PDF, you can highlight. If you going most over there, it will be highlight. Word access in your PDF will be appear, and it's nice. And as you saw before, this is in render mode. Okay, you can choose from the first. If you change it, these are default setting your PDF, and you can easily change them in a toolbar, as you saw before. Here you can change the lighting, light from the file that you want, light type, light power, and here is a reflection. If your model has a reflection, you can mod it in the blend. If you want, you can change it. And this is an open file after exported. After this exported, it automatically open for you. It's a viewing. It's a very important setting. If you have this is a default. If you have like this single object that you can mechanical rotate it, choose default single part focus. If you have a scene like a building, like a architectural exported, use a smart. And this is the most important, navigation mode, rotation, spin, or walk. If you have a scene, you can select it walk. If you want to rotate in any direction, rotate, but I preferred spin. The best rotation is spin. It's like one axis and you can rotate around two axes. As you saw before, those navigation, those arrows that change it bits scene state, you can change it between number button, preview image, or you can deactivate it, that if you want, don't show it. Sometimes I don't like it. You can turn it off because I want to click in my scene state. And if you turn it on, you can change the automatic transition. If you click and go to another scene state, because sometimes we have lots of into different scene state. For example, material, position, and have a different material for that. And you can do anything. You learn how to do that. And here you can automatically transition. If you click it, the software automatically change between the scene state. I don't like it. It has a zoom and has an effect duration that you can choose it, but I don't like it first. This is an animation. Please make it higher, at least 30, because I want my animation act smoothly, or 60 because I exported your animation 60. Okay. It's important. Play mode. I don't want to play my animation at the start because I want to click that. Stop animation on camera movement. If you move your camera, rotate your object, animation stop. The play mode is repeat. Yes, I want to repeat and repeat again. If you play once, you can play it. Yes, I want to play once because I want to click my button, animation happen, and then stop, and then another click. Okay, this is good. And this is an advanced setting. We have a measuring tools in PDF. You can show it. It's very interesting. Measurement at the annotation, you can do it. You can activate polylines or object attributes that you want. It's very simple. Or if you want to add a JavaScript to your PDF. And this is an optimization. This is an the text size. If you have a large file, you can tick this. It's optimized for you automatically. Okay, it's very easy. Go into the page and create a new. If you click create a new, another software I think will be open. That is this page builder, page 3D template builder for PDF. Here you can choose your size. You can choose your size. I can choose a landscape or portrait. I like HD in a portrait. And this is in the PDF unit. You can keep aspect ratio. If you change it, it change automatically. And hit OK. As you can see, this is an HD. I like it more. And the most important part is here. You can add a 3D area. Click on 3D, click once. This is your 3D area. That your 3D model will be shown in this area. You can select it that your 3D PDF show in whole area or in this area that you want. If you select it here, you can background fill mode transparency. You can see the image in the back. You can add image or back, or you want to add a single color at your background. Choose your single color or image. Add an image to your background. Okay, I like it transparency. This is an 3D area that show without background. You will see that. And here you can choose the width and height. It's not important. It's correctly showing this 3D area. Here you can zoom your selection. If it's something like this, you can zoom your view. Here you can add a text. If you want, you can add a text here. This is another text from text box. You can add a text box, or you can add a text. For example, I add a text here, click, select it, collect it. Wait it for open because I have a lots of fonts. Here you can play animation. Or you can add any other graphic or any other text that you want. Here, this is an play animation. If I click this, I want to, the play animation will be happen. Go into the settings, you can change the background color of this, you can change the opacity of this text source, and here the text you can change it. And the most important thing is here, when I click in this text, what happened? This is an multi-action. This is an action as like this software. You can close it, it's not important. This is unlike this type. You can choose the action, which action happen. Okay, of course I want to play. You can add a URL. If you click, you can place your website here. You can play animation stop, and yes, I want to animation play. No, sorry. Play sequence. I want to play sequence. It's better. And here you can type your sequence name. Okay, go into the software, and this is my sequence. I want to play this animation. If I click that button, all any. So you write it all exactly any. It's fine. It. Do you want to loop it? Start at the activating, but not by only click. Okay, this is my first button. And another important thing, you can add a line, you can add a rectangle. This is most important, is image. If you click on this, you can add a 3D image, you can add a 2D image, and you can open it you can simply open your 2D graphic from your PC or from your Photoshop design. This is the most interesting. You can change its heights and dimensions, and you can simply click. For example, you have to design an icon here for your scene state. You can add a background image here and do a lot of things. Okay, or you can simply add a background there. Okay, this is, you can Control C, Control V that. Here you can go with, for example, behind them, or you can make it forward and backward. Control C, Control V. You can connect your scene state to the disk graphics. Okay, I will explain it very fast and easy, but you have to take time and design your graphic here. Here type, I want to play sequence. Scene state. Which scene state? You can by index 1, 2, 3, or by name. Which is name? The sequence are scene state are here. Matte 1, Matte 2, Matte 3. Select them. Okay, I write it number Matte 1. Select it. Play a scene state Matte 2. Select it, and scene state Matte 3. Okay, And another interesting thing, these boxes, if you click it, you can add a background, send it to the background. As you can see, this is transparency, it shows it. You can add a background or add a graphic to your background, select it, and you can add a linear gradient for that or solid color. Okay, this is a box that you can do it. This is a linear color. You can change the color here. And here you can, if you want to add an image, you can use it, a big image with a high quality of the background. And here it's a pointer line. It's a very easy box, and it does not do anything. It's very easy. And here you can insert all of these tools here, and you can view, you can see the grid if you want, or all of these properties, toolbar, language that you want. And it's ready for me. And the most important thing is save it. Save file. Where save your file, please don't change this address. It is a template of the SimLab. You can select my temp2, my temp to see that. Save it. Let's go to the default path. Select it. You can close it. And we design our template, and everything is ready, and connect to the scene state and the sequence. Go to the file, export, in the settings, click refresh to see your my temp2. Select your temp that you design, going and change its settings if you want. Select it. I want to, yes, spin 3D, everything is okay. Be sure that your 3D model is selected. It's very important. 3D toolbar, page, my temp, and click it. And this is a unit. You can change the unit. You can change the optimize if you have a lots of texture, and hit OK. And here you see, if you want to check out, I don't like that position, scene state, and it's important all of material scene state will be exported and exported. And it says, do you want to save it? No. And this is an export. First, this is an you have to allow to the 3D PDF to show your PDF. Trust this document always. And one click on your 3D content. And it's ready. Interesting. You can click and drag, right click to zoom out and in, press right click and left click together and drag to pan. And as you can see, this is our annotations, our measurements. And the interesting part is here. You can click on play animation and your animation is played. The most important thing for setting in advance is frame per second. If you, as you can see, because it does not loop, you have to click again to animation. In the settings, I explained it. As you can see, this is our 3D area that I selected. You can select it, go to the whole area if you want. I exported my animation in 60 frame per second and set it in 60 frame per second. It's important because if you don't do that, your animation will be a lot bad. Frame per second. And this is a 3D model. If you want it, you can do it. And here are scene state. If you click on that, as you can see, the material will be changed. Imagine how a lot of things that you can do it. Another interesting thing is multi-action. As you can see, the multi-action is highlighted, and when you click that, the animation will be happen. Click. So you can export the annotation, multi-action, your animation, your scene state, your sequence to the PDF. It is interesting. Okay. And this is the most important thing. This is toolbar. Here you can choose the rotation. And here I want to explain 3D measurement. Important thing happen. Left click is for rotating, but this, when you active 2D measurement, the left click goes to click and drag for paint a measurement. So for holding Alt to rotate, holding down Shift to pan, or Alt Shift to zoom. Okay. As you can see, you cannot rotate. You can just click to measurement. Our measurement is a snap to the point, a snap to the line, a snap to the anything that will turn on all of the snaps. It's nice. And as you can see, this is an type of the measurement, point to point. You can select and simply measure. Interesting. For rotating, you have to hold Alt and click and drag. This is an point. You can set the measurement to, for example, perpendicular if you want. You can measurement like this in a 2-point, or if you want to measurement circular, to measure a radius here. As you can see, you can measure the click and second click for measure this area. For this kind of, you have to click here, and the second click to, you can change the radius of that. That's a nice. And here you can change the degree between two edges that you want. This edge and this edge. No, you have to define the better angle. For example, angle of this. It's very tricky in this model because it has a lot of bending. You have to select two edge, and it's very tricky. I can't find any. And this edge, I don't know, it's tricky in this model, but you can first click an edge here and another edge, and as you can see, you can measurement angle between them, and you can turn all of them on or all of them off that you want. Okay, this is a powerful measurement, and that's it. Another thing, add comment that you want. Another interesting thing is here. Here you can change the background. I think the color of the, yes, it's the background color. It does not change because it is, so you have to change it from your settings. Interesting thing here, add cross section. This is a cross section. You can add a cross section to your model. For changing its properties, you have to cross section properties here. Here you can change the offset that you want. It's very interesting. Tilt 1, tilt 2 is for a slope. You can change the slope of your cross section. Here you can change alignment to the Z or Y or X axis that you want. This is our cross section. Interesting. And here you can show the intersection. As you can see, the intersection are red. You can show it if you want. You can show cutting plane that you want if you want. It's a cutting plane. Ignore selected part. If you select some part, it will be ignored if that you want. For example, you select this and you can ignore it from the cross section, or okay, or you can add a cross section cap. As you can see, this is if you select it, it is empty, but if you select cap, it will be capped. It's not good because I want to see inside of that model. You can show the transparency of the sectioned object, and here you can specify the cross section plane opacity. Or here you can align to the face. For example, you want to cross sections align to this face. Select that and select this face, and the cross section will be aligned to that surface. Or you can align it to the 3D models, the 3D point. Click, and second click, and it's aligned to the three points. Okay, it's interesting. You can use this. Okay, this is an 3D PDF. You can use it and enjoy it. Hello, my friends. To continue these tutorials on YouTube, subscribe us, like us, and hit the bell icon. And now you will be alerted about all of the amazing videos that we release.